the whole idea of Tembusu is a well-rounded lifestyle because we spend more time here as compared to our actual homes. So this is like our new home. So apart from coming to NUS, we are here for academic purposes to get a degree. But apart from academics, right, we're also here to like hone ourselves outside the classroom. Like example, for sports and other student-initiated activities. So when we come to Tembusu, we hope to see these kind of things. So like previous years, there's no inter-college game. So in the sporting area, right, I would say that. So for past years, there's no system because there's no goal to head towards. But now with the introduction of inter-college games in subsequent years, right, then I hope to see like a system for the sports groups so that they can have like regular trainings for everyone to hit. Because now they have a goal to head towards, rather than in previous years where I'm not saying anything, but there's no goal, there's nothing to push them forward. So the sports groups are like just when I want to do something, then I just do. But I hope that next time with inter-college games, we can have more regular trainings. Yeah.
Good. I think for me, because I didn't speak at the rally before, I think personally when I first came to Tembusu, I drew upon a few things. One important thing to me was that Tembusu was somewhere that can allow me to speak out, have the confidence to say things, and also to be a place where learning is encouraged, not just academic learning, but also finding new things, discovering new interests. And I think it weighs heavily upon my heart still on really opening up an environment where Tembusu residents can really have that opportunity and a framework to really have the chance to do new things per se. And for me, I think one concern most of y'all have addressed would be, is Tembusu going to become just like any other hall, perhaps a more atas hall because of all our facilities. And what I see now is not so much that we are turning the hall, but we are at this crucial crossroad of defining what is the next step for Tembusu. And I hope that even as all of us, the team, can even open up the CSC maybe, right, to hear the concerns of the people, right, even having subcommittees, so that there's a good framework for others to bring in their concerns, and that we can even follow up on that and produce things. One thing that I've heard that's really interesting is an idea of a new interest group, which largely centers on design thinking, which is Encho's idea, really. And something struck within me that might be a possible direction that Tembusu can follow, where everybody can take upon the idea of having innovation in their lives, doing new things, not just setting up new things, but exploring new areas of engineering, of the arts. That's where I really see Tembusu going in the future. And I hope that myself will be, I can't do everything, we can't do everything in 1 year, but at least this will be the start, and this will be the foundation that we build upon for the next subsequent batches to come and really build up that culture that is to come from Tembusu.
From the next candidate onwards, right, we'll limit you for 1 minute. Okay, everybody go 1 minute. Alright, if this goes on, I think you take a long time to end, right?
Okay.
Johnny?
The way I see it, right now Tembusu has a very balanced culture. I think we need to recognize that the people that we have in Tembusu come from a very diverse range of interests and backgrounds. So right now, as I back to my point on being a balanced culture, because right now we have a lot of intellectual CCAs being started, a lot of things like strategy club, and for example, hacking club that were being started by the seniors. And also on the more artistic side, we have interest groups like travel makers and upcoming Greece production. I think we are doing well so far, but going into the next generation of Tembusians, right? I think we might be going more towards artistic and musical, a more musical college. But I would be concerned about about one area I would be concerned about would be the intellectual pursuits of the college.
So for me, right, what I see Tembusu right now is that I agree with Jeremy that Tembusu actually gave a very holistic education, because that's what actually Tembusu is in a sense it's not all about fun, but it's also not all about study, but it's actually a mixture between both, and actually it's teaching you as like to become like a person as a whole. So what I was thinking is that what Tembusu was like currently heading towards is more like something that is more the fun, but actually there is a lot of opportunities for people, but actually what I see right now is that Tembusians does not use these opportunities yet. So I was like, maybe we can organize more events to actually encourage them to actually share their talents. For example, like Discovery Week, but on a larger scale, in the sense like people can just make classes that they want, like teach other people what they have, and from their culture that is of them, in the sense that other people can know where they come from. Because we actually have an advantage other than hall is that we have a lot of like very diverse community and diverse people.
I think that for me, when I came into Tembusu, what made the difference for me in Tembusu compared to the halls was it was supposed to be a place where we live and learn in the same place. It's not about studies or academics, but it's about learning. It doesn't necessarily mean the same thing. And I think that currently we have our fellows and masters teas, we have our Tembusu forums, but how engaged are Tembusians in these activities, sometimes it's questionable. And I think that one of the reasons is that interest level. It may or may not be the topics that people are interested in. One of the ideas I actually have is taken from a JC, is where the college would actually bring in activities that people want. That means instead, I mean, for example, our recent Tembusu forum on the US presidential debates, no doubt is interesting in its learning point, but if the people in Tembusu College are not interested in it and they do not engage in it, then it defeats the purpose. So what I would like to do is to find out what are people truly interested in learning, in academics, in interest groups, etc. And let's begin to propel that, and let's begin to encourage that.
Okay, for me, right, I think as the only senior year running, then in this past 1 year, I've seen many different things, interact with different people from different colleges and residences. Okay, what I think is different from Tembusu and other residents, for example, PGP is we are more nested together because we have a lot of activities here, like student activities. We have night cycling, for example. That's something that nobody else has. Because different halls and residents don't pull together money to buy bicycles for students. We are the only residential college at this. And so about living together with our professors, like a few doors down the road. Like for example, my professor of climate change, just stay a few doors down the road. You can just go to the room and have discussion about climate change, for example. That's something that no other residences have. We are the only one that has it, so that makes us different. And I mean, we are the full-fledged college, not like RC4, for example. So we have like master's tea and also formal dinner. That's something we don't have, and something that's unique. There's times like exchange students who apply for RC4 will regret it because they don't have like formal dinner, which we have. So they really do appreciate Tembusu as well, and hope to be part of us because we have so many activities and stuff like that that nobody else has. So I think Tembusu is
actually, for me, I think that basically I feel that what I see is that we've done a lot of good work in the past, and as in we are in a very good position now. But I fear, and I think that some of us might fear that in the future we are not sure what is going to happen, because it seems like we need to stand out more. We need to show that we are different from all the other residential colleges first and foremost, before we even think about distinguishing ourselves to PGP or other things. Most importantly is to identify why are we different from like Cinnamon or Angsana. And it's more, we need to get our whole student population involved before we even want to come up with new activities. Because I feel that actually the platforms are there, but our students are not making use of it enough. So it's more of us trying to encourage them to be more interested. So basically, I think that what Chien said about getting people to know what people are interested in is very important. It's something that I agree with, because like for example, the master's teas and all, they are all very interesting and very diverse, but we should actually see what the students are more interested in before we move in that direction.
I'll be thinking aloud because when I was listening, there are some things that crossed my mind. When it comes to Tembusu, I thought the beauty of it was that the people were there to discuss about things beyond their course. Like they didn't just gather to meet and talk about what they were studying in school for. So I worry that if we have like a group for the people in a certain course to mix around with, then it will create like an exclusive circle which starts dividing the Tembusu College. And I think it's the thing that makes Tembusu much more different is that people don't restrict themselves to their course, and that they go around talking to other people who don't necessarily study the same things they do. Another point that was brought up about subcommittees was that the wonderful thing about Tembusu is that you don't actually have to commit much to anything. So when you join an interest group, it's because you really want to, it's because you like it. And when you start restricting people to subcommittees, you worry that it becomes more of a burden than loving it. So, so we should continue what we already have, that is discussion among, as in like learning among people from different courses, without the restricted boundaries of commitment or restricted boundaries of groups.
For me, I see two main issues right now in the college. The first thing is that there's this divide between people who enjoy pursuit of socialization and fun, and people who enjoy intellectual discourse. And while socializing and fun is an important aspect of student life, it's networking and stuff, but intellectual discourse is also another important aspect of student life. And I think that in order to address that, right, we need to start coming out with events that can actually integrate both elements together. Secondly, right, there's sort of a lack of sense of ownership from Tembusu College for some people, which is why you have the issue of a lot of people, certain groups of people not participating enough in house or Tembusu kind of stuff. So I think that in order to get to them, we need to personalize the experience. So we can work through the house people to actually go right up to them and invite them for upcoming events and stuff. So it's only find things that interest them and find out what their concerns are, where their interests lie in. Yeah.
Thanks for your answers. I think we have quite a bit of audience here. So I'll open the questions to the audience first, address their questions. Anybody has any questions?
We have two parts to this question. So given that there are a lot of ways to commit and contribute to the college, right? How have you already contributed to college? And the second part is, why CSC and not some other path?
Anybody can start?
I'll start first. I think for me, first off, I think I'm quite involved in my house. I've seen a lot of things through Aura House as the captain, and honestly speaking, it is really difficult to get everybody on board. As most of you recognize, if there are at least 30 people, it's supposed to be by and far a good event. Something that really fell upon my heart to extend from the role of house captaincy to the CSC is that beyond house captainship, beyond taking care of the people, beyond helping with people's things on whether noise level or not, is really providing a direction. I really hope that a direction can be built up so that you enjoy the same more, and not only enjoy it, but to take away something from the 2 years that you are here that can be valuable in your workplace, in wherever you go in the future.
For me, right, before I even entered Tembusu, right, I was really very interested like the musical interest groups and stuff like they had in Tembusu. So I actually started talking to some of the seniors on the unofficial Tembusu page, which I invited to even before we like matriculated, which I thought was a very good thing. And so when we interacted and stuff, I found out about all the musical stuff they had here, and I contacted Kelly, who invited me to Greece, like the musical. So since then, like even before TC, I've been like joining them for a year. So ever since, and like since school started, I put in like a lot of my time to Greece, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And because I see it as like sort of like a pride thing that the Muslim can have, like when it's our first ever musical production. So I think that there's a lot of like merit. And what's the second question?
YCSC.
Oh, YCSC. Because okay, actually right, I didn't even want to like join like any house thing or CSC thing or whatever, because at first I really didn't care because I felt that I wasn't needed. Then I realized that there's general lack of interest in like such like things like CSC, so I felt like someone had to step up. Yeah.
Take a question. First question you asked is about what I contributed so far. I think someone's really passionate about cycling, and that's why me and Dr. Calvin Powell and Frank started night cycling itself to try and bring a culture of night cycling in Tembusu. It wasn't easy at first because in the beginning, I mean bicycle rentals is something that we need to address first of all, not start night cycling in the first place. It wasn't easy to raise money, but through time, through effort, we do procurement, we did eventually bring the cycling culture to Tembusu. And get that people actually bond and meet new people, exchange students as well, bond with college students, and we actually managed to go out quite a few events safely. I'm glad as well as okay. And then also, I mean, I run as a house wing leader as well for last academic semester. But I felt there was things that I couldn't do as a wing leader. Like for example, you want to fix the toilet choke problem. You don't have enough power as a wing leader to do that. But if you join CSC, you might have the mandate to actually push for such a thing. Maybe have more water to go through the thing to prevent the choke. That's why I entered CSC. We try and change all this.
Jian?
I think for me, I hope I don't misunderstand your question when you ask how have I contributed to college. If you're asking for a list of great things I've done, I don't have anything. If you're asking how I've been involved in the Greece production as well, managing the technical aspects. I started up the kitchen, cooking and baking. You should join us someday. But I mean, it's my involvement in the college. And if you ask me, I don't see any reason why anybody in Tembusu should not be involved, because the interest group system is designed that if you're interested in something, if there's a bunch of people in Tembusu who's interested in it, you should start it. You should get people in the college involved. It's really that simple. And yeah, so that's my contributions to the college so far. As to why CSC, I'm honestly not here to seek any office or any position. I'm here because I want to serve, I want to contribute to the college. It sounds idealist, but that's my honest answer.
Ivan?
Okay, for me, right, I guess like from working with my house people as a house con, right, actually made me realize something that actually in contributing something, I mean in stepping up, for example, for just like house wing leaders, which actually doesn't do so much work as what CSC does. Actually, I feel the joy of like having being able to like organize events and see how people actually enjoy your event. And actually, it's kind of like how I enjoy orientation, and I want to extend that to like other people in the sense that, I mean like I want that other people also can enjoy what Tembusu is like and to just participate fully, because in the sense right now, right, you can see that not all of them are on board, like what Jared said. It's very hard to get everyone on board, but actually what I want, right, is actually to get to like be able to give the college a direction so that people are actually more encouraged to actually do things that they want to do. Like for example, the IG system is very, very good because you actually have a lot of freedom to actually shape the IG that you want and actually to learn what you want as long as you got a substantial number of people. So yeah, so that's also my answer for why I actually want to run for CSC.
Jeremy?
For me, in answering your first question, I've been involved. I started getting myself involved starting from Family Day. I remember I had a senior, Salima, who invited me to stage a performance with her. Then aside from that, I participated in a range of other activities. For example, I've been involved with T Studios as a photographer. I've also covered some Masters Teas and even the Games Day. So on that point, I'm also involved with Greece as their drummer. So as a whole, I think that I'm very glad that the IGs here do not require us to commit ourselves, do not require us to feel obliged to participate. Because what I'm doing right now, I'm participating because I really am interested in it and I want to gain and learn as much as possible out of it as well. So in answering your second question, why CSC? I guess the idea was mooted quite early on, even in the admission stage. During the admissions interview, I remember I was interviewed by Dr. Kelvin Pang, and he was asking me how could I contribute. So based on my experiences, I decided to tap on the leadership experiences, and I mentioned contributing in terms of student government as well. So I hope I answered two of your questions, those two questions.
Okay, for me, mostly I'm passionate about sports. So for the past few months, I have not been in house comm as many of them have been. But I've occasionally been joining the trainings for the other sports groups like floorball mainly, but I also join for soccer and frisbee sometimes. But from what I've seen in floorball, right, when we have such impromptu sessions, the turnout can be quite passionate. There's quite a number of people who come down. But the moment we mention like inter-college games and representing the college, the numbers immediately drop. So what I find lacking is the Tembusu spirit, maybe the rivalry with other colleges. I realized that when we talk about competition, everyone seems to become disinterested. So I hope that I want to join CSC in the sense that I want to foster develop this healthy rivalry with the other colleges, so that encourage people to join not just inter-college games, but also not just sports, but maybe like the other cultural side of the Tembusu. Represent us.
Well, I think everyone covered what I wanted to say. Anyway, I am the vice captain of our Housecom right now, and I have stepped up as a Housecom member because I wanted to involve the full-time international students, full-time local students, and exchange students to like mingle around and create events for them to like interact and have like long-lasting friendships. So like I want to make it like a college-wide thing, so that everyone will be involved together. It's like quite idealistic, as they said, but I want to make it more extensive by reaching out to them through various sub-committees. And yeah, that's all.
Basically, I want to say like, I'm not a member of Housecom, and if for this of contributions, I would say that I haven't really actively contributed in like Greece or any other productions. I've joined a few interest groups and participate in their activities. And I joined CSC because I feel that this is a good platform for me to step up my contributions to the college as well. And I also see that because there's a lack of, we need to step up. I think that we need to step up because that's why I'm joining, so that I want to contribute where maybe there's a gap or a hole in the system.
How have you contributed yourself?
In contribution, I think much of my contribution is just personal involvement. Like, I feel like I really spend my time here. I really walk along, like I really interact along the hallways or in the lifts. I really get myself fully into my Tembusu module. I'm really a part of it. That's what I feel. And why CSC? Because I want to represent the things that I love. Because I love Tembusu. I want to represent the people who are like me. I want to represent my friends, their views. That's why I choose to.
Can I just say that something that you don't really see, right, is that she talks to like the cleaners and people who help us out every day, right, interviews every day. She really finds out more about their lives and actually talks to them. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else has another question? Here.
My question is very simple. Okay. As a CSC, right, what do you think should be the top 3 priorities for the college? And choose only one to give a slight elaboration on.
The top 3 priorities would be to maintain the Tembusu spirit as it is, because I feel there's a lot of wonderful things that the Tembusu spirit is. Secondly would be to provide opportunities for Tembusu people to discover and grow. And I don't know what, but I really want to. And then the second thing is the one that I want to really build upon, which is to help people to discover and grow. And I really believe that one of the best ways to really learn how to discover and grow is to give back to others. And I feel that there's a lot that can be done to encourage Tembusu people to give back.
Okay, for me, I think the top three, I would say at the moment, I think that one priority should definitely be we need to get everyone involved, and we need to make everyone feel that they want to be involved, not because they have to, but because they want to. I think that's very important to get the whole college bonded and to feel that they are involved. Secondly, I think we need to distinguish ourselves from other residential colleges and halls, because this is important in the sense of what kind of people are we going to attract next year and where we are going to go in the future. So we need to distinguish ourselves, make ourselves different, so that the people we attract will be different as well, and they will be in line with what our college culture and tradition is. And the third thing I think definitely we also need to look out for like each and every individual, develop them as well. For example, by giving them more opportunities to develop their talents, or to give them more opportunities to go global, which is something maybe Tembusu hasn't really built upon much.
I think for me, firstly, we need to get people to actually be interested in the CSC and what it does, because I don't think that there's enough interest at college level in what the CSC does that can do. So I think there needs to be more engagement with the students to actually find out their needs and their concerns. Secondly, I would hope to foster a greater, stronger Tembusu identity, and that can be done through sort of intercollegial events, which I would like to push for. And thirdly, I want to provide a steady platform for for integration of both the intellectual discourse and fun, so that people can actually get to know each other better and learn more through such events.
I guess for me, right, the most important is actually to look for people in the college. In the sense, look at them not as a college, right, actually as an individual, and what they're interested in, and what kind of thing they want to learn. Because the college is all about the people inside, and how they actually are learning in the college, and how actually they enjoy, whether they enjoy the college or whether they need some improvement on the college. So basically, by actually looking at this, by looking at people as individuals, right, you actually are addressing basically most of the needs of the college. And I believe the second one is also about the Tembusu spirit, or the Tembusu culture in the sense. It's how actually people are, it's important because when you have a strong Tembusu spirit, right, actually people are more involved, and when people are more involved, right, they actually gain more of it out of the college, and not just stay in the college for just staying in a house, in a sense. There is no difference of staying in a college as staying in a house if you just want to stay in your room and study and do nothing and not participate in events. So basically, Tembusu spirit is actually very important thing. I think thirdly is also to actually give direction to the college, and what the college want to focus on, and what we want to focus. I mean what we want to shape the people inside to be after they actually finish from the college.
For me, I agree with what Ivan has said. My first 2 points will touch on what I call the T factor, what distinguishes us from all the other colleges and halls. So firstly, we need to recognize, I think we need to recognize that the strength we have here is the social capital, the fact that people know each other very well, and walls are broken down. You feel that you share your experiences, your knowledge, and you teach people, you share your talent more easily when there's strong social capital here. And this builds on, in the sense that you need to encourage a journey of self-discovery. Make use of whatever opportunities that are given in Tembusu to be able to explore new passions, find new interests, explore your current passions and to find new interests throughout the journey here. And last but not least, the third one is to engage the seniors, the graduating batch. because I think they have contributed a lot throughout the past year, and I believe that the next generation of Tembusians that will come in will have much to gain from what the seniors currently have contributed.
For me, I think it's very hard to choose three, but if there's three that I would choose, the first thing is commitment. Not say that a commitment where it's a tie down, but commitment to the things that you are passionate about. I personally know a lot of people that are really passionate about things, and they are working hard at it. And this is what I intend to build into Tembusu. The second thing is a vision for all students, to work towards a direction, a framework that can help in pushing Tembusu into a real active learning community. The last one I talk about, to me, and I don't know about you, but for me, unity in the college is the most important that I would like to prioritize. Not just in like friend here, house bonding here, house bonding there, but it's really the term called a collective, where although we are all unique, all passionate about different things, but we all have a ways to go about it. We all want to further it and to grow it. Yeah, that's it.
For me, I believe what is very good about Tembusu and we should continue to encourage is the friendly community spirit within Tembusu. Like, you may not know one another, but as you keep seeing each other, because we live here for like 5 days a week, so as we see each other more, we can just like say hi and get to know each other. And also the learning environment here is not just taught by the professors, but you can also learn from the other students around, even seniors or even freshmen which are in the same year as you. But what I want to talk about is the involvement in Tembusu, because I realized like there's a group of students which are very passionate about what we are doing here in Tembusu, and they are very loud and rah-rah about it. So, but actually they only make up a small portion of the people in Tembusu. And there are numerous other students which actually we do not see much of. Like what Jared just now mentioned, in a house event, in a house of 100 over people, if you see 30 people, it becomes a success. But 30 is only a quarter of your entire house. So I hope that we can get to know what people are interested in so that we can organize things which are interested.
Well, firstly, I believe that the most important thing in Tembusu is the diversity, because there are a lot of, I myself I'm a full-time international student, and I think like there are a lot of other exchange students and the majority full-time local students. And I think the interaction among these three groups are very important, and we should provide a platform for them to like build a long-lasting friendship. Okay, and secondly, I think academic interest is quite high, high in demand, because a lot of year ones in Tembusu are like mostly freshies. They don't know which one to choose, like how they should plan their path in NUS. So I think the interaction between the seniors, alumni, and the juniors are very important. And lastly, I think what Jingshen touched on, the activating of interest groups, using the giving them like purpose, like sports competition or something like this, to have a common goal to achieve. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Anybody else want to add on?
Yeah, I think that one thing that really underlies everything that's been said so far about commitment, identity, I think one thing that's really ties it together is that people need to be proud of that we are at Tembusu College. People need to be proud of who we are. For me, I was from Victoria JC, and we are the most fun JC in Singapore. And some of you will disagree with me. Some of you will disagree with me. But the fact remains is that people in VJC, we come out believing that, and we are proud of who we are. And because of that, in Victoria, if we have a soccer match in another school, we will send busloads of people there to support our team, because we are proud of who we are. And I think that for all of this to happen, about engagement, identity, commitment to interest groups, all this can only happen if people are proud that we are Tembusu College. That when 2 years from now, when I leave this college, I want to look back and say I had the best times of my life in NUS, in Tembusu College. That was the place I learned, that was the place I grew, that was the place I met people. We need to be proud of who we are.
Okay, the three things, okay, just be quick. I think student life, activities like interest groups are important. I also think that student education is important. Like you actually mingle people of different faculties and you start a project like climate change model together. That's actually, even though it's troublesome, but you mingle together, you learn something through making a model together, like leveraging on each other's expertise. But more importantly, I think, is creating this differentiation factor. When people think about Tembusu, they think that it's somewhere I want to go because there's still so many awesome things that makes up Tembusu that make me want to go to Tembusu. Like for example, my friends who I exchange from RC4 think that we have a lot of things that they don't have, like games room, for example, that they always want to come in. Some unauthorized visitors at times that comes in one day. Because that's something that they don't have, but if you give them a chance to choose a game, to choose Tembusu, I think that's what we should aim to achieve by creating a college that everyone wants to apply for, and very good quality students over there. Yeah, that's what I want to share about. That's important.
Anybody else has a question?
I have a question.
Sir?
Well, firstly, thank you very much and of course for the election committee organizing this first Q&A. I want to first say that on Thursday I will be asking more specific questions, but here I do not know any of you very well. I know very precious few of you a little bit. And it's interesting to note that although there are 11 of you for 11 positions, meaning to say you do not have to compete with each other at all, I note that none of you are speaking to whoever's here as a collective, rather speaking on behalf of yourself. With that in mind, I have this question. What is it about you that you would do differently than previous establishments? Or, in other words, what is it about you and what you are going to do that will compel me not to decide to gather 20 of my friends to move for a vote of no confidence? If you feel that you want to answer now, do so. And not everyone has to answer.
First part of the question.
First part of the question is the same question phrased in different ways. The first phrasing is, what would you do rather differently than the previous establishments? In other words, what will you do and what is it about you that will compel me not to bring 20 of my friends together and move for a vote of no confidence in your leadership?
What didn't you like about